Hi, welcome to DY India Tech. Today we discuss about DR drill plan or DR drill prerequisite. Before that, we will understand what is DR drill. DR drill is required almost every business to reduce the downtime of the project, and it is mandatory to certain businesses. It depend upon business to business. So there is DC and DR. So DC is a primary site and DR is secondary site. Let me help you the following key points for planning and documentations. A comprehensive DR drill plan, a details written plan outlining the step to be taken before, during, and after a disaster event is essential. So we have to written plan and details documented required to proceed DR drill. Define recovery object. In the DR drill, the requirement of RTO and RPO need to be decided. Normally is RTO and RPO should be 15 minutes, but it depends upon the business to business. The requirement will be, or the RTO and RPO timing will be differ. But normally the RTO should be 15 minutes and RPO also 15 minutes. The recovery time object RTO, maximum acceptable downtime. RTO means like whatever we decide. If we decide that 15 minutes, so once the DC is goes down, next 15 minutes the DR should be operational. And the recovery point object RPO, maximum acceptable data loss. So during the RTO, if we decide that 15 minute the DC to DR moment, and this DC to DR during the time they will call RPO, maximum acceptable data loss. In between, if anything is happening, maybe data loss must be clearly defined for all critical system as their matrix guide the entire recovery process. Everything need to be documented and clearly mention all the procedures. Risk assessment and business impact analysis BAI. Potential threat must be identified and their potential impact on business function quantified to prioritize recovery efforts effectively. Before we plan like DRD, we have to very careful about risk assessment and business impact analysis we have to do. So we will come to know what are the impact during the DR deal, and accordingly the business and this client has to take decisions. Asset inventory, a comprehensive update inventory of all critical software applications and data, including their dependencies and license key, is required. So we require a up-to-date inventory. So we require all the inventories like servers, hardware, software, any integrations, whitelistings. So we have to keep documented and keep all the detail up to date. Moving to the communications plan. A robust multi-channel communications plan. We require a multi-channel communication plan like phone, emails, text for all stakeholders, including like employee, customer, vendors, management. Must be established and accessible even if the primary system are down. So we require a comprehensive plan, and in their plan we have to capture all the contact details. If any circumstances during the primary website or primary systems are down, if the detail is up to date, then quickly taking actions accordingly the details. Runbook, a detailed steps guide or checklist for executing the recovery procedure, ensuring consistency and reducing human error during the high stress event. So in case the primary system are down, that time we have more chance to get a mistakes because is a high pressures of top management, and so in this case we require a runbook which is all the step and checklist is a predefined, so who will working on that point of time they can follow the checklist and do the procedure to avoid any mistakes. Technical and operational. Reliable backup and replications. Critical data must be backed regularly and securely. Store off-site following the 3-2-1 rules. 3 is copy and 2 is type of media, 1 is off-site. Replication between primary and secondary site should be enabled in the healthy state. Make sure your data replications should be enabled from primary site to secondary site and keep monitoring system in place. Designated DR site. An alternative recovery site, warm, hot or cloud-based site, should be available and configured to take over operation if the primary site fails. So the DR site should be up to date with the primary configurations, so it will helps when this primary site fails, so no need to take further steps if the configuration and everything is up to date. How we will make sure this everything is up to date? So it is called BCP. So we have to think, or we have to create a procedures. Whatever changes we are doing on DC, same need to be replicated on DR, and also should be validated for the all the changes are replicated and it properly isolate configured environment. A test network that closely the production environment but is isolated from it is necessary to run the DR drill without restrictions, without disrupting the live operations. So we have to be very careful while testing or doing the testing of the sanity and all. Make sure there will be no impact of the primary operations. Configuration failover mechanism. Automated failover procedures should be set where possible and the procedures for manual failover must be well documented. Failover mechanism. Automated failure process should be set up where possible and the procedures for manual failover must be well documented. Procedures should be automated if not possible. Make sure this documented, well documented, so everyone aware of this documented and all and know how to execute this document. Vendor and supply coordination. The third-party vendors and external partners must be identified that roles, responsibility and service level agreement incorporated into the overall plan. Also, we have to mention that third party or external partner who involving in this project or this plan. Human resources and training. Assign DR team roles. Specific role and responsibility must be clearly defined for the disaster recovery team's members, including an incident commander and alternatives in case key personnel are unavailable. So there is a DR team which is assigned for this role and responsibility. Make sure they are aware and they are readiness for this. Employee trainings. All employees should be aware of the DR plan and their specific role during an emergency. So who will be the part of DR team? All the employees well aware about this plan and specific role and responsibility if any emergency. Management support. Executive management must be involved and provide support and approval for the DR plan and testing schedule. Management approval is required for approval and testing because the direct business impact. So this is very big activity for DR drill for business to business. If you like this content, so just like this video and just share your friend and colleagues. We will meet in next video. Thank you.